What is polyamory?
Are we funny?
That was actually pretty good.
Everything we're talking about is our personal experience, and we're not talking on behalf of every single poly relationship or poly person out there. This is all just personal experience, how we go about things, how we've interpreted things and experienced. Hi!
Hello! Today we're answering the question, per Grindr, what do polyamory do?
AKA, what is polyamory? So the definition of polyamory is to have multiple intimate partners or relationships at the same time with the consent and knowledge of everyone else involved.
Yes. So there are different types of polyamorous relationships. Some of the more predominant ones, or two of the main ones, are hierarchical and polytropic relationships. Basically, hierarchical relationships are like when you have different... I guess an easy way to put it is like tiers.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have your primary, your secondary, you could have tertiary if it gets that far, if you have that many people. Your primary partner could be the person that you live with or the person you have kids with if you're that far in the relationship.
The thing that differentiates primary versus secondary is primary is the one that typically has the most amount of energy and time put into, whereas secondary tends to...
Be a little more casual.
Be a little more casual.
Good job. Polytropic relationships have more of an even ground, and so no one person gets more time than another person.
Not on purpose, anyway.
Not on purpose, because everything's going to be different depending on your schedules and all that kind of thing, and
there's no guarantee that you're ever going to have the exact same amount of time with every partner.
Because that would be exhausting.
Yeah, but for the most part, everyone's on even ground. And everyone's considered the same level.
Everyone has the same amount of say with big decisions, that kind of thing.
Yes. So, obviously, as long as everyone's needs are met, then it doesn't matter what kind of polycule it is, just as long as everyone's satisfied and happy.
Yeah, hierarchical, polytropic, there's nothing wrong with either one of them. It's just, as long as everyone's happy, then you're fine.
Yep, differs situation to situation.
Yep. So, our polycule is a... polytropic, technically. We all have pretty much equal say, and we try to spend equal time with everybody. Or those of us with multiple partners try to spend equal time with everybody. The rest of us just kind of hang out together anyway. We spend a lot of time around each other, just because Cale and Lucas and hopefully Kevin will soon live in the same house with me, Nick, and Sammie. Well, I mean, Cale does live with us now. But
yeah.
Cale's
on the couch.
Cale's on the couch. Cale wants a bedroom.
Penny.
Penny, really? Penny up!
Penny goes, fuck you.
In our particular polycule, there's no preferential treatment like, oh yeah, Cale hasn't been around as long, so he doesn't get as much time or effort, or his relationship isn't as, like, important as, say, Nick and Sammie, who have been together the longest out of the polycule. So there are a lot of misconceptions about polyamory, especially when it comes to jealousy. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, jealousy must not exist, or else you would be crazy fighting about it all the time or something.
Yeah, that's definitely not true.
It's totally a thing.
Because jealousy is just a normal human emotion, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with experiencing jealousy in poly relationships. They actually can help make the relationship stronger at times because it enforces a lot of communication. Yeah.
You have to talk about it or you're just going to build up some kind of like resentment or something like that, and it's just not going to go well. There's also the idea that people can, in polyamorous relationships, can just sleep with whoever they want. While some people do that, or some other relationships have those agreements that they can, some have the agreement that you don't. They're like closed polyamorous relationship, in that you don't just go do whatever. So in that case, with a closed relationship, there would be such a thing as cheating because you would be breaking that bond of trust with that other person.
Yeah, it's all about...
the boundaries you set.
Yeah, setting boundaries and keeping them. So another misconception about polyamory is that they can't be long-term or serious relationships, and that they're just casual.
Because a lot of people are like, oh, you'll just get jealous and whatever. Someone will leave you for another person. Or
We
something
get a
like
lot that it's a sham.
Yeah, a sham. Things
Sham
change.
of a
It's fine.
relationship.
Because it's just you're agreed upon cheating, which it's not. That's not how this works.
No.
It's just as serious. I have just as strong a commitment to Nick in a polyamorous relationship as I would with anyone else in a monogamous one.
Another major misconception is that everybody in the polycule is intimate with each other, and that is not the case.
No.
It can be,
It's
but
not for us.
it's not for it's not for us.
It's not for us.
We have our set partners. Everyone has their partner in the relationship, and while some polycules are like triads, like they
Who are all in a relationship with each other.
they are all in a relationship together. For others, it is more like a line, or in our case, a rake.
Not all of us have to live together. We choose to, at this point. We didn't think that was ever going to be a thing, I don't think. Not everybody has to live together in the same household, even, like, close together. Of course, there could be long-distance relationships in poly. It really just depends on what you want and what you need. I don't want to date you just because I can't.
Just because it's an option doesn't mean that we want to.
It's the same thing with, like, gay men hitting on straight men. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, no, don't hit on me. Like,
Same idea. Like, you come
same
out to
concept.
someone, they're like, oh, I'm not so sure about that.
just because I told you does not mean that I inherently want to do something. There is such a thing as too many partners. Your turn.
That's a tricky one to talk about.
So there can be such a thing as too many partners. If you are running out of time and energy and you have 8 people on a schedule, it can be a lot. And you should not overwhelm yourself. You have to take care of yourself as well. And if you're too busy taking care of so many other people, you can't do that.
So the idea that everyone agrees on everything at all times is another big... That's not true. It's how it is in the real world. We're a whole group of different individual people. We're not all going to agree on everything all the time.
Yeah.
Like, we'll have little fights over if Moe's or Chipotle is better, or if IHOP pancakes are in fact good or not.
They're not.
But it does not matter, because we will put that aside, because we all, at the end of the day, care about each other. Even if some of us are wrong.
That's fine.
It goes back to communication.
You're still wrong.
I will communicate to you that I think IHOP is not bad.
Well, that also doesn't mean it's good.
Look, I didn't say they're my favorite pancakes in the world.
This is sponsored by IHOP.
Yeah. IHOP, please sponsor us.
No. Nicholas would be so upset.
So this is actually my first polyamorous relationship.
Technically mine too.
Yeah.
Technically.
Technically it is, yeah. So, we're both new to this.
It's been 4.5
I know.
years.
Going into it, obviously I knew what I was getting into. Like, I knew that they were married, and that they had a few other partners, so it wasn't something that was, like, surprising to me. But when I realized that I was developing feelings, and I started looking up all this stuff about polyamory, I was like, can I do this? Because it was daunting, because I'd never really given it that much thought before. I'd never been like, oh, I think I'm polyamorous. But then, like...
Does anyone ever have that?
Exactly, so it's...
I mean, people might. I just didn't.
Yeah, it wasn't something that I was, like, actively looking for, but when it's right, it just kind of happened, you know?
It's also, I guess, technically my first poly relationship, too. Even though I got into it when I was a little younger than you. I got into it when I was 18, when I met Nick and Sammie. They were looking for a third person on OkCupid. And then, yeah, summer after my senior year. I had just gotten out of a 4.5-year relationship because, yeah. It's really cheesy, but like the moment like I saw Nick, I knew it was gonna like spend the rest of my life with him.
Yeah.
Which is really cheesy and doesn't sound real at all. But it totally is. The first thing we ever said to each other in person, he was like, "You're taller than I thought." I'm like, "You're shorter than I thought."
Oh my god.
It was in a Kroger parking lot.
That's so funny! Oh my god. The first memory I have of Sammie is them going, "It's Gay Eddie," and then running out on stage for Rocky Horror. I was like, who the fuck is that?
It's Gay Eddie.
I was like, huh? Basically, it's just like any other relationship where it's
Yeah.
you meet them, you like them.
And you're like, well, shit, I guess I could do that.
Yeah, exactly. It's an adjustment, but it's not unheard of.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not.
It's a learn as you go type thing.
Yeah.
You just have to figure yourself out as well. Because like you have to figure out what you need and what the other person needs, and you have to figure out how to meet both of those. While
Yep.
also your partner may be meeting other people's needs at the same time.
Yeah. It sounds more complicated than it is.
Yes, people are always like, how do you do it? And I'm like, I don't know. It just kind of happens.
It just happens. I mean, it's a relationship. There just happen to be a few more people in it.
Yeah, it's the same thing as monogamy, but not.
Yeah. So we talked a little bit about overall what polyamory is and isn't and stuff like that, misconceptions, and a little bit about our personal polycule. If you have any questions or anything like that, don't be afraid to ask. We love talking about ourselves. So yeah, let us know if you have any questions. We'll do our best. Smash that subscribe button.
Why are you yelling?
So they really smash it.
In theory, we post on Tuesdays, but today will be Wednesday.
Yeah. Happy Wednesday, everyone.
My bad. We said hopefully Tuesdays, and we're gonna stick with it.
We said Tuesdays, and then we missed the first one. So
We're doing great.
Okay.
We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.